Hi, I'm Deb Martin, with the current president of the Synod Women of the ELCA. I want to share a little bit about how our organization works and encourage all women in our synod to become a part of us in some way, whether it be a Bible study, a retreat, an event we have in one of our spring events. At any time, you are always welcome. The theme of our synod in 2020 and this year is generations of sisters in love. We want to emphasize adding more generations. It's not just old ladies like me, but women of all ages, including our teenagers. Please like us and follow us on Facebook. And we have a page on our East Central Synod website as well. You can request to receive our open door newsletters by email. It's free, and we'd be glad to add you to the mailing. There's no obligation. And look for notices in the Synod newsletter for Bible studies or other events coming. So any of you that are new to the Women of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America may not be sure, why are you a member, or how are you a member? Or, well, we just say that anyone who is a woman and belongs to a congregation in the ELCA is automatically a woman of the ELCA. If you have a structured, organized group, that's great too. You meet regularly, you have leadership in place, and that doesn't have to be a president, secretary, so on. It can be leadership style that fits in your context. If you give an offering, either through our synod or directly to churchwide at least once a year, and there's no strict definition of what that leadership looks like. You can contact me at any time to learn more about how this is done. Of course, 2020, with the pandemic worldwide, made us make some changes. For one thing, our board has been meeting on Zoom, and we've been having monthly Zoom Bible studies using the Gather magazine study, which has been superb and really right on for those of us going through traumatic times. The theme for this president's meeting in February, which of course was virtual as well, was pivot, don't panic. And I think that applies at many times of stress in our lives. But as far as our women, we want to keep our purpose, what the purpose we have to be supportive of all the women in our congregations, continue to pray, to praise God for all of our blessings, because even during pandemic, there have been blessings, and to plan, but allow that those plans can change. The analogy using the basketball works really well. I'm not a basketball player, but I watch the sport. The idea being that we stay grounded in our mission, our purpose, as I already talked about, but we pivot around. We keep that 1 foot planted, and we look in different directions to see what kinds of things can we do to support our ministry in different ways. One example is a church in Mosinee. They would host a Thanksgiving meal for their community every year. They knew in 2020 they weren't going to be able to do that, so they decided that they would have takeout meals so people could drive up and get a meal to go. They were so successful that they did the same thing at Easter. Our ministries are about justice, stewardship. We want to be intergenerational, and many use the Gather magazine Bible study. If you don't use that Bible study, I still encourage you to get the magazine. It's a gem of articles and much support from women's perspectives. You can find that online to sign up for it. And all are part of our discipleship. And we practiced, and we had to pivot in ways of doing this. An open invitation, whether you have an active group in your congregation or not. Are you a bag lady? Meaning, are you blessed and gifted? We're going to have a fun in-person retreat at Imago Day, one of our Crossways camps. It's just outside Clintonville, Wisconsin, on Saturday, September 18. Please save that date, and there'll be more information again on our Facebook page and through our open door, and also on the Synod newsletters and Synod website. It's going to be a fun day, and Reverend Judy Deckert will be our retreat leader. She's already recorded some very fun lessons that you can find again on our Facebook page. Another day that we like to encourage churches to have is Bold Women Day. We're suggesting it for the fourth Sunday in February, but honestly, you could hold it any time of the year. We want to celebrate bold women in history, bold women in your congregation. We have many women pastors in our synod, and now our bishop, Anne, we want to celebrate her as well. Others that are currently there could be people from your generations past in your own family. But the women that are still in your life, let them know that they're bold to you and you appreciate their boldness, and encourage that in our younger teens and our young girls too, to be bold. Let them see the ways that we can live out our faith. We've again had changes. There was no in-person triennial convention in 2020 that was just canceled. This year we're having a virtual convention, and it'll be August 3rd through the 5th. So it won't be the same, but we'll be able to draw in quite a few people the virtual way that couldn't necessarily travel to Phoenix. Then the 12th triennial convention will be in person in Phoenix, Arizona in 2023. We've had goals, and we've tried to meet many of them in different ways during this pandemic time. We want to empower women to engage in ministry and action. We want to do justice through advocacy and just speaking up on behalf of situations in our own communities and worldwide. We've accomplished these goals. We have with Bible studies on social issues and encouraging women to act. We had an advocacy summit in 2020 virtually. We did that in partnership with the Lutheran Office of Public Policy in Wisconsin, Pastor Cindy Crane. We've educated our women about immigration and refugee issues through Amparo. One of the church-wide leaders of this for Amparo did a virtual study for us, and that is on our Facebook page. And Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service has a long history of support of immigrants and refugees, and there's lots of information by the ELCA. We look at water quality, both in Wisconsin and other places. Human trafficking awareness. Over the years, we've had quite a few different workshops about that, I think making an impact, because it is happening in all counties of our state, and it's actually been worse during the pandemic. We worked on an international project for a Liberian hospital and helping them get solar power. Domestic abuse is another issue that we want to highlight and overcome, and sexism in our media. Emmanuel Cicero, even though it was a pandemic, they decided to keep making quilts. They met in small groups and with social distancing and made some lovely quilts here. And there were other congregations in our synod that did the same. And we encourage you to share those stories and pictures with me, and I then can share them out in our open door throughout the year. Whenever you have an event that you'd like to share, we'd love to post it. That way other women in congregations maybe get ideas. Again, I'm already mentioned about the human trafficking and working in priority with the Lutheran Office of Public Policy. We also work with the ELCA church-wide hunger initiatives too, in the same way of partnership, and we've been having virtual presentations, and we'll have another one soon. So all women of our synod are welcome to join us in Bible study, at an event, or a meeting at any time. We hope that in 2022, we'll be back with our spring events in the conferences, which usually can draw quite a few people in our area. Our invitation is always open to join us in Bible study, advocacy, or in service projects. Whatever your situation, remember to pivot, don't panic.